I heard this, I guess this term, political malpractice. What a great term. I just the amount. I mean, I'm in awe of the amount of incompetence. Just the amount of incompetence, and if you want to lose half of your viewers, talk politics, right? If you want to lose half of them, talk about Trump. Um, the amount of political incompetence, of political malpractice that is going on. I just watched this video where the idiot that runs Georgia, also known as the Georgia governor, I don't even know what this idiot's name is. I believe he's an idiot because then I can't be sued if I say the word I believe. I think he just came out today saying he's now going to have everyone quarantined because he just learned in the last 24 hours that this virus can spread even if you don't have symptoms. My kids knew that 8 weeks ago. My kids, just so you guys know, my kids are 9 and 12. If you want to send hate mail because I think the guy who runs Georgia is an idiot, send it to the Georgian governor. It's just the amount of incompetence that is going on. Like, you think someone can't get stupider, and then they open their mouth and they get stupid. You're like, oh my God, I didn't think he could be dumber. But it just it just keeps happening. Oh my God. Okay, I got a point I want to make on this. So I was listening to a podcast, Jack Kornfield and Tim Ferriss. So Tim was interviewing Jack, or really probably Jack Kornfield was helping Tim off the ledge. It's really interesting what's going on with people, right? So anyone who has any sort of childhood trauma, whether they realize it or not, something like this brings it out, right? So people are worrying about stuff they can't be worried about. And I just think of someone like Tim Ferriss, who's got more money in the world than he'll ever need for 10 lifetimes. And he was saying to Jack Kornfield, he can't sleep at night. Now, I need you to understand, I don't know anything about Tim. Maybe he's got elderly friends and he's really worried about them. He doesn't have any kids. He's not married. It's not financial. So I don't know what's going on with him. But it's just interesting how it's affecting people. So Jack was relaying a story to Tim, and Jack Kornfield's 75, lived in Southeast Asia for a bunch of years. Anyone who lives in Southeast Asia, I have a very kind, open heart towards them. I lived in Southeast Asia in my 20s. I love that part of the world. I love the people. I love the culture. And so Jack was talking about the story from the teacher Buddhist to the students. And the Buddha teacher, they're out walking in the forest and they see this huge stone. And the teacher says to a couple of the students, "Do you think that stone's heavy?" And the student's like, "Oh yeah, that stone's really heavy." And he goes, "Only if you lift it." And I love that little story because immediately it made me think of, if I show you a price chart and I show you a crappy looking price chart and I say to you, is that a bad investment? And literally it's like, it's only a bad investment if you buy it. It's not a bad investment if you don't buy it. The thing is, people are not taught how to open their eyes up, turn towards the stock market, and only buy things that are likely to make them money. And it sounds novel, and it sounds like I'm being an a-hole even saying that, but people aren't even taught how to buy things where the probability of them making money is in their favor. So what I want to do is I want to show you some stocks that look gorgeous, that are going up, that are breaking out right now. Today, I'm recording this on April 2nd after the market is closed. These are beautiful looking charts. As you know, this is not a let me give you some picks and then I'll just keep throwing you fish. And if I throw the fish, you'll pay me money. Look, I'd love you to take training. I train people to fish for themselves, regardless of what the weather's like or the pond's like. And I have to say, once you know how to fish, you sleep great at night. You know how to step out of the market. You know how to step into the market. And so that's what I do. I train people to fish. But what I want to do is I want to show you some of the best looking price charts today, regardless of what's going on. They are beautiful, right? And when you're trained, and here's the thing, I'm not worried about giving away these price charts because once you're trained, everything changes. And if you're not trained, all I'm doing is giving away some fish. But there's some pretty good looking fish out there, and I want to show you that. And I guess the point is, one, I want to show you what a beautiful looking chart looks like, but also show that regardless of what's going on, there's always opportunities. Now, I'm not suggesting you buy it or don't buy it or trade it or day trade it or short it or long it or anything it, but simply look. Once you know how to fish, it's amazing what you can find out there. So let me jump behind the computer. I have the vision in my mind of these two guys on TV reacting to the Georgia governor just saying he just learned. Oh my God, the incompetence. Like you think stupid is as stupid does, and then it gets even worse. So I'm going to jump behind the computer. I'm going to show you a couple of the most beautiful looking price charts I find right now. I did a super simple scan to do it. So give me a second. Let me jump behind the computer and let me get that to you. Okay, hold on. All right, I am behind the computer. It does not cost you any more effort, any more time, any more life force to buy something that is doing what you already want it to do. It sounds so weird and it sounds almost like I'm talking down or being sarcastic, but it's not, right? So buying something that's already winning or already going up costs the same amount as, in fact, it costs a lot less, right? Because if you buy something that you hope to turn around or something that sounds good or something that you read about with words or text, right, that can get really expensive. So I think what you should do is buy things that are already doing what you want them to do. And so I just want to show you a few price charts of companies that, despite what's going on in the world, are doing great. They're doing great. So this company is called Vertex Pharmaceuticals. And what I love about it is it couldn't break above this price. It couldn't break above like the 194. And then when it finally broke above, you saw that it sat on it. And then we had the whole craziness with the Corona crash. And of course, it sold off a little bit and it sold down 19.5%. But the fact that it only sold off, I'm just going to round 20% when the market was down 35%, that's strong. And it's wanting to get back to new lifetime highs. So the point is to not be throwing fish at you and go, hey, look, more fish for you, more, pick of the month stock picks. The point is to say, it doesn't cost you any more to buy great investments than it does to buy crappy investments. And here is an example, right? Buy things that are already doing what you want them to do. Okay, let me go to another one. So this is SBA Communications. Had a nice little correction coming into the end of 2019. That's beautiful looking. And it broke out. Right, it broke out before. Now, February 19th was the peak of the U.S. stock market, but it broke out before that. And of course, it got caught up a little bit in it. It fell 29%. Now, remember, the market fell 35%, but immediately got back up on its feet. And look, it is above its old lifetime high, and it's above that right there. So it costs you no more to buy things that are already doing what you want them to do. It doesn't cost you any more to buy investments where the buyers are in control of the investment, right? That's what you want to do. You want to own things where the buyers are in control of it, not if the sellers are, and not if you don't know who's in control of it. These things are all teachable and trainable, and they cost you no more time to buy things that are good compared to things that are going to make you poorer. Here's MSCI Inc. Again, here's a 3.5-year price chart. Looks beautiful. Looks gorgeous. Of course, it got caught up in it. Let's just see what it fell. Fell 32.5, so almost as much as the S&P. But here's what's great. It rebounded, and it's actually above, where is it? It's about 7% above where it was at the beginning of the year. You want to buy strength. You want to avoid weakness. It comes through getting trained to know what to look at. But even more important than what to look at is what to avoid. It sounds simple, but it's not easy because your brain's going to want to get hijacked with words like dividend and income and growth and all those things the Pick of the Month newsletter world tells you is important, but it's actually not. I mistyped there. And then here's the last one I'm going to show you. Eli Lilly, again, had a beautiful correction going through 2019, finally broke above that price point here at the end of 2019. Of course, it got caught up a little bit, but notice how it didn't spend much time below this old high. Buyers came in. Isn't that interesting? You want to own things that buyers are in control of. And again, this is up about 7 or it's 8.25%. There's a way to only buy strength, but it has to come through training. It's not going to happen through Pick of the Month because you get thrown a bunch of crap. You don't know what's good. You don't know what's not good. The power is not in working harder, right? You've probably already tried that. The power is not in another Pick of the Month. I'll teach you. Actually, they don't. They claim to teach you, but they just throw you more fish, and then they 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 throw you more fish. And then you just get overwhelmed, and then you don't know what to do, and then you just live in overwhelm mode. Overwhelm is a big boy or big girl term that means I'm mad, I'm sad, and I'm afraid, right? You don't know what to do because your brain's getting hit with multiple feelings, and so it does nothing. But there's an example. I think I just showed you 4 stocks that are doing great. And I just did a quick look. I was just looking for large cap stocks that I could share with you to show if you get trained so your brain knows what to look at, it knows what strength is, it understands truly what questions to ask, then your world changes. And it's not just an hour a night or 2 hours a night, right? Because it doesn't cost you any more to own strength than it does to own a basket of losers. In fact, it costs so much more to have 30 or 40 or 50 stocks that are confusing the hell out of you. And that's what's happening to people, right? They're just so confused and overwhelmed, and they call their big box advisor. And he says, because most of them are he's, say, just ride it out, Timmy. Just ride it out. You got some years to ride it out. What a crap thing to say. There is a better way, guys. There is a better way to invest. It's a way to invest with your eyes open, facing the market. And once you know how to fish, your whole life changes because you get this extreme clarity that you're going to be okay, that you'll know how long to be in, right? That you'll know when to get out, that you'll know how to get out. And what you end up doing is you get control back over your finances. You get control back over your portfolio. You get control back over your wealth. And that's ultimately what I think people want. They want that control back. So thanks, guys. Again, this is just 4 really simple price charts I show you to just kind of prove a point that once you're trained to avoid the Humpty Dumpty stocks, right, that all the king's men, I don't know the rest of it, all the king's horses cannot put Humpty Dumpty back together good. Problem is people just buy Humpty Dumpty stocks and then they're just like in repair and they've got to figure out how to grieve from all the crap they own. And I'm not making light of it, but man, imagine if you never bought another Humpty Dumpty investment. Like, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. So guys, hopefully by the time this goes live, I've got something you can click on. And look, I've got this $95 conversation where we get on the phone. Okay, so we're going to get on the phone for about 30 or 45 minutes. You're going to show me a couple of things that you own. And I'm going to show you right there on the call which ones are costing you a lot, right? And this is not the obvious thing that you can see. This is stuff that you don't get how to do unless you're trained to. But I'll show you right on that 45-minute call exactly what parts of your portfolio are making you poorer and which ones are helping you. Guys, if you can cut the anchors on your boat, you don't even need a bigger sail. But imagine if you cut all the anchors on your boat because you didn't need them, and you don't need more than one anchor, right? And you had a great sail. Maybe you even made a bigger sail. So it's a super straightforward conversation. We get on the phone, we do a screen share. I look at your symbols, all right, and I point out to you which ones are the anchors, right? Which ones are costing you $5, $10, $25, $50,000 in a $500,000 portfolio. Get $1 million portfolio, it's probably $100,000 of anchors a year. And look, guys, if you don't think the call was worth $95, I'll give your money back. It's not a business model. It's to filter out the time vampires and get people who are serious about change in their life. They're serious about getting control back over their future. And so they're willing to belly up to the bar, roll up their sleeves, spend a whopping $95 for me to show them right there on that screen share what parts of their portfolio are hurting them. Go ahead. There should be something in the outro. If not, we'll get it going soon enough. Thank you guys so much for being in my world. This is RC Peck, and this is just another step in helping you protect your portfolio and your sleep and your relationships and your livelihood and your life savings and all that other good stuff that comes from knowing that you have complete control over your investments and your finances. All right, guys, until next time.